Hey everybody, Robin Wilson here from Social Climber Pro, and today I want to share with you some tips of things that I love. Now, apps are kind of my thing. If you even saw my phone, you would understand. I have more apps than you would ever even be able to process. But some of them are time suck, and some of them add to my productivity. So I'm going to share with you the ones that help me with my productivity and keep me on course and maybe help me eliminate some of the squirrel symptoms that I have. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to cover with you guys today is going to be WordSwag. Now, it's not a new app. It's something that you guys are probably already using anyway, but I'm going to show you some pro tips that maybe you weren't using. So let's look at some of those. Trello is the next one. Now, Trello is, to me, the world's biggest collaboration tool. So it helps bring my team together in one central location, tasks, calendars, postings, graphics that need to be created, all of the fun stuff that we do on a daily basis when we're helping our clients. Dropbox. Everybody's probably used Dropbox, but I'm going to show you some ways that we use it every day, how we collaborate, how I pick up from one computer and go home and start working on a different computer and never miss a beat because all my stuff is in Dropbox. I'm gonna also show you something about social media. So normally Facebook and LinkedIn, any of those that you start down the road with, and knowing you need to be on there because we're in the marketing or social media arena or you're an entrepreneur, but you just get sucked into the time swap of cat videos and how to make the best dessert in the world out of pretzels. Okay, so I'm going to show you some tools and apps to kind of do the work that you need to in Facebook and in LinkedIn without getting drawn into the big abyss. Okay, so once again, WordSwag, Trello, Dropbox, Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups apps, those are all apps. They have desktop versions, but they're going to make you more productive, I promise. If you will use these 5 tools every day, they'll make you more productive. So hang on and let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. One of the first things that I told you that we were going to learn about how to be more productive is WordSwag. And WordSwag here is one of my favorite tools. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and open this one up. And so when you first start, it gives you the option of either taking a picture or grabbing an existing one. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab an existing one that I already have in my camera roll. But you can also, if you'll see right here, you can search Pixabay images if you want to. And so if we do that, let me just tap on that real quick. And let's look for cars. And Pixabay will go through and find all of the pictures of cars that they have out there. And these are free images you can use. So a lot of people don't know this and they're, having to make sure they have content or whatever. But you can absolutely just grab one of the pictures that Pixabay has in there and then start creating from that. But I want to show you how to use one of your own. And I'm going to go to my camera roll. And then I have some free images that I have here that are free to download and free to use. And I'm just going to grab one of those. And so with this, I have a choice right now. I can either use a square crop if I'm planning on using it on a social platform that would require a square crop, or I can choose to not crop it. I'm going to go ahead and say don't crop on this one. Okay, so at first it's going to pop up this text box on here because everything on WordSwag wants to add text. So you can't get away with not adding text to here. So I'm going to go ahead and double tap that. I'm going to back this text out right here. And if you'll see over here to the left, they have some stuff that's already created for you. So if you wanted to, you could grab some of these and use them, okay? But as for right now, I'm going to go ahead and add my own text on top of here. Okay, I'm going to save and close. Now it defaulted to this font type right here, to this print type right here, but I think I'm going to just move on and maybe see what this one is. Maybe this one. And you can see on the bottom here we have all of these choices And so it just depends on what you're trying to put together here. So let's say that we found one that we like, okay? So we kind of like this one, but is that exactly the way we want it? You'll see these numbers along the bottom right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you tap on each one, it'll be the same font pairings, but it just changes them up a little bit. And so find the one that works best with the message you're trying to convey, and then you can go ahead and select that one, okay? And so with this, you could pinch it and make it smaller. You can rotate it where you want it. You can actually change the color. Now, if you want to change the color of this, so let's say that we decide to go with this right here in the middle. And let's say that we decide to change the color. We're going to come right here and do that. So we'll just tap that. And then you can scroll through and you'll see that there are some textured options in here. If you had a fatter print, there's some multi-colored options in here. I usually try to find something that's going to pop off of the page, plus still kind of complement what we're trying to do here. So I'm going to go with that right there. Okay. And then we can also, while we're in here, go ahead and click on the image button right here. And so this will add a filter if you like. Okay. Let's say that you want it to be maybe more vibrant. And you can just go through, there's several of them in here to choose from. But I found one back here I kind of liked. I'm going to go with that. I think that one right there. I really like the crispness of that. Okay, and so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and come up here and I'm going to say that I'm done, okay? Yay, it celebrates me. It's making my little picture, right? And so that version of the picture is already saved to my camera roll. I don't have to do anything about that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click close. And then I'm going to actually reswag. If you'll notice, I kind of left that sentence hanging. So this is where you want to come in, and now you're going to pick another font if you want to, and you can reswag this. So we're going to click reswag, and I'm going to come in, and it's automatically going to grab that one that we used before. So I'm just going to go ahead and back that one out. Stack this a little bit more. And I'm going to save and close. And it's using that same font that I used before, but I'm going to pick something else because I want to go with a different look for the bottom. Maybe something that will complement it, excuse me. You can see I'm going with something a little bit more bold because that statement is, did you make a difference? And so I'm just trying to find the right one that's going to make that pop off that page there and kind of be the focal point of this. And I don't know if I like that one or this one. I'm going to definitely change the color on this one. So let's go with a complementing color of this one. And you can see you have so many choices here to go with. And I like that one right there. So I'm just going to make sure I have it centered where I want it. You see your little center grid pops up on there. Okay, so now I'm going to tell this that I am done. Okay, so once again, I'm done. And now that version has been saved to my camera roll also. Okay, Now I'm going to add my logo to it. So now I'm going to add it says add logo or watermark, and it's going to give you these instructions every time. And so I'm going to tell it I'm going to put an image on there. And now I actually keep all my logos in a file called logos, so I don't have to go looking for them all the time. And I think I will use this one. Okay. And so now your logo is on here. Mine actually pops up there really small at first. So I'm just going to drag it somewhere up here in the corner. And you can make it bigger. This one is actually not popping off of here really well, but you can see the whole point of it if you, well, I think I'm going to turn it sideways a little bit and maybe just pop it up here because I don't really necessarily want it to be the focal point of all this. I just want it to have me on there somewhere, right? And then there's a little button at the bottom here, transparency. So if you have a very bold one and you just want it to be subtle, you can drag that transparency bar and you can see the changes happening up there in my logo up there at the top. And then when you're done, you just click that check mark up at the top, and this image is done and it's ready to go. And so you could go back to your photos, and you'll see that image is right there, ready to go, ready to post. Well, not that one. There we go, that one. So it's ready to post. And just what a cool little tool to be able to just grab stuff on the fly. I don't know if you guys do, but I keep free graphic images on my phone just for a moment like this, whenever I need to just grab something and make a difference. Did I make a difference? I was reading that and that's what it said too. So when I need to just make a graphic and pop it out there, then this is kind of the tool that I use, and it's fun. You don't have to, if you prepare enough in advance, like if you have your little folders on your phone like I do, and I'm just going to show you this one more time, sorry, pop that out there again. So I will have a file of free graphics, free images is actually what I think I call them, free images, and those are royalty-free images that I can use at any time. And if you if you use Google Chrome a lot, I use the Chrome extension Unsplash, and every time I open a new browser window, there's a free image for me to grab and use at will, so might check that out, Unsplash. And then I also, like I said, I keep all my logos for all of my clients and everybody that I use. I keep them in a separate logo file so that I'm not scrolling through hundreds of pictures trying to find them. Okay, so that is the tutorial, or the little tip, the fun thing on WordSwag. And if you'll remember, this is what WordSwag looks like. This is your app for WordSwag. And I think I paid maybe $2.99 or $3.99 for this app, and it has paid for itself over and over and over again for me. It has saved my rear end so many times, I can't even tell you. So WordSwag, use it, and we're going to move on to the next tool in just a second. Okay, so our second tool of the trade is Trello. For myself and for my team, it's invaluable. And I actually had one member of my team that I brought on board that was not all about using Trello, wanted to use something else. And I'm like, I just love it. And I'll show you why I love it. So this is my Trello app right here, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. If you can imagine those old cork boards that everybody used to hang on the wall, you know, and then you would have the push pins and you would have all of the index cards on there, and maybe there'd be a header at the top and then all the index cards down below it that would have all the subcategories. That's how I feel the Trello board is. It's like, oh, it's like the new Post-its or whatever. But the cool thing about the way that we use it, and if you're not using it, I would probably suggest that you do, is that it's such a huge communication tool. So one of my boards in here, because they're called boards, and then once you go inside your boards, then they're called cards. So all of these are called cards within my Trello board. So this one, for example, is a communications tool that I use for my project managers. And so I can come in here and I can build them a list of work or chores or things that I need for them to do on a daily basis. And it's very important because then I can even create them checklists in here. Let me go back in here and see if I have one in here. So in here for this project manager, I can put all of the notes that I need in there for them. And if you'll notice right here at the top, you'll see this where I had tagged her, her username in here. And when I did that, it gave her a notification and let her know that I had communicated with her somewhere. And if she tapped on the notification, it would take her right to the exact card on the exact board that I communicated with her. So a lot of the things that I have put in here for her to do were all put on a checklist. And I'm going to go and actually show you this one right here. So this one, if I click it right here, this has my checklists on it. And so this is for one of our clients. And then daily, what do we need to do for them every single day on whichever social account we're working on, what needs to be done for each client. And so I can come in daily and see how she completed these items, because as she does them, she checks them off. And then that makes them go away because I know that they have been taken care of. Okay. And so every day at the end of the day, I can come in and check all of these items and see which ones didn't get done, which ones maybe she needs help with, and I can bring in another team member to help her with that. Another thing that we do within our Trello boards is, I don't know whether or not, and I've mentioned that I am an app nerd, okay? One of the apps that I totally love is called If This Then That. And it is, let me see if I can find it. I hide stuff in different pockets in my, right here. So this one right here, it's called If. And so you create recipes within If. Well, I drive quite a bit. And so while I'm driving down the road, I have an iPhone and I will be setting myself reminders. And so I've set up a recipe within If that says, if I set myself a reminder, if I'm driving down the road and I'm saying, Siri, set a reminder for 1:30 to do a Skype with Brenda. And then Siri says, I've set that reminder for you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, within Trello, I have a, you can see this right here, Robin's Reminders. It's actually Robin's Reminders and To-Dos. And so whenever I set a Siri reminder, because I have queued IFF or IFTT, if this then that, to bring that over onto this Trello board, which is really kind of cool. So it just kind of communicates with each other. And so then I can call some of my staff, or I can message them and go, hey, there are some things on Robin's Reminders and To-Do list that I need addressed. Can you go and check those out? And seriously, hands-free, I've just created a list in Trello. So that's kind of my pro tip for Trello if you're not using it right now. I do have some tutorial videos. If you want to learn more about how to use Trello for your team, I'll be glad to get those to you. Just head over to my Facebook page and hit me up, and then we'll look at more of those. And it's a little bit more in depth, helping you kind of use Trello to fine tune how you do your business every day. Okay, so that's this on Trello. Hey, okay, this one I get kind of excited about because I have two different offices, and then I can work from home if I want to. Sometimes I'm working off of my phone, so this one kind of just saves my bacon all the time. So Dropbox, if you're not familiar with it, is another organizational tool, and it kind of behaves like a cloud file box. So you can put things in Dropbox, and if you are sharing Dropbox with your team, everybody has access to it, okay? And so when we open up Dropbox, initially, let me get out of here because that's where I was at when I grabbed the last thing. Initially, these are all of the different files that we use within Dropbox. And every member of our staff or our team has their own file within here. So if I need to put something in their file, I can, and they have access to it. They have access to all the files, but that way they're not having to go look for it. And so just for example, let's go to Amy Ross. So Amy Ross is a graphic designer who works for us, and these are the clients that she's working on. And so once again, go back and see, this is Amy's file, and then within Amy's file, we have files set up also. So within a certain file, she breaks them out into subfiles again. So she's created graphics for Facebook, she's created graphics for Google+, for job listings, LinkedIn, Twitter, video intro, logo, YouTube. Those are all graphics that she's created within each one of those platforms that we use, right? And so it keeps them all organized. When I'm looking for something, it's really easy to find because we've been very specific on how our Dropbox is structured, okay? So let's go into Facebook. And now you'll see they're even broken down by month because we've been working on this account for a while. So I don't really care about the April, February, and March files. I'm going to look and see what's in there for May. And so then we have, this has them broken out by ads, blogs, and daily posts. And then every month we do a new cover photo for our clients. So I don't have to go looking for the cover photo. It's right there, okay? But let's say I'm going to go look at the ads. Now the ads are probably broken down also, and they are by what size they are. So if they say Facebook like or Facebook web, those are two different size graphics for the different uses that we would use them for, okay? Daily posts. And she has all of these dated by the date of the calendar that we had created in Trello, if you were watching the last tip. Okay, so within Trello, we create a calendar, and then this is where Amy works off of this. And this is just kind of show you the backside of kind of how we keep our Dropbox organized. But I'm going to show you how on your mobile device, how this app can make your life easier, okay? And so I was telling you about Unsplash, right? The free, I'll show you real quick too. Let me make this go away for just a second. So if you'll see this right here, this is a free image from Unsplash. Every time I open a new tab, I get another free image. Look at that. Wow, that one's really pretty. And so I'll just download those, right? And so they go in my downloads. And so what I will do is I will end up going to, from my computer, I will go to Dropbox and I will load all of these pictures in there under free images right there, see? And then I put them into separate folders depending on what they are so that I can grab them on the fly, right? Anytime I want to. So they're there for me to be able to grab and use. Okay, so another thing that I do, so I have a business that on the weekends, they have these big sales in different parts of the country, okay? And so I will create ahead of time a folder, and I'll show you this one real quick. I think this one is under my name. So this past week, they had this many sales in these different cities, right? And so I will come in ahead of time because I know those sales are coming this weekend, they're going to be happening. And then while the sales are happening at these places, the directors that are at these sales are texting me pictures. Okay, so they're coming into my phone. So I save the images to my phone. And then what I do is I just come in here and I'm trying to think where this one was at. I think he was at Sterling Dodge. And so then I'll just go up here and I will grab those pictures from my photos where I saved them. And I may grab all of these and I'll just say upload. And now those are all uploading to Dropbox for me. And while those are uploading, I'm going to pop over and send a text to the project manager who works on that right there and say, and let her know, or the graphic artist who's working on it, and go, look, I have 3 new images that are in Sterling Dodge in ASP, Robbins folder, ASPM. I'll give her the exact map to get there. Can you please go grab those? Throw the logo on them because I'll always have a logo in there. See at the very bottom? That's Sterling's logo. Throw the logo on those and get those ready for me to post if I'm out and about. And because my graphic artist doesn't post to Facebook, and if I need her to just throw them back in there after they're branded, that's what I'll tell her. Throw the branded one in there. Create a folder that says branded Sterling Dodge. And then I got another graphic artist or another project manager that will pop in there and they will go in and grab those and post them to the Facebook page for that account. And so it's really kind of a collaboration tool, but between my mobile device, my computer at one office, my computer at another office, maybe my MacBook Pro I have at home. And so it's just such a great collaboration tool to be able to use if you structure it right. When we first got it, it was a hodgepodge mess. And matter of fact, I'm going to show you this just because I'm very transparent. We actually have let me get out of this one. we have a file in here that's called everything prior to the change. And that means before, when we didn't have it structured right, everything was a huge giant mess in there. And so we didn't want to get rid of all of that stuff, but oh my God, it was just such a mess in here. I mean, crap was everywhere. And so when we finally figured out the right way to pop these in here and have an organization that everybody could understand, then it just traveled a lot easier between everybody now that we've got it organized the way that we do with the folders and the subfolders. So I hope that kind of helped you out. If you want some more tips on Dropbox, head over to our Facebook page, leave me a message. I'll be glad to create a more in-depth tutorial on how we created our organized Dropbox system and how we communicate with each other within that, because you can actually leave messages for each other. There's times whenever my graphic artist will pop me up an image in there, and I'll just message her within that. And matter of fact, let me see if I can find that real quick. Let me go here. No, let me go to Amy Ross. Sorry. So let's say Amy sends me some blog graphics. We'll check this one right here. And we get to right here and I'm like, yeah, not so much. Then I can just go right here and I can leave her a comment. I could tag her if I want to, but it's already going to notify her because she's the one that created this folder. And then I hit post and it says done, and it sends her a little message. It says, Robin left you a message on this particular graphic. And so it's just another great communication tool within, so it's specific. She knows what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about anything but this image right here. Here's the message on this image right here. And it may be that I say, and I just have typed @ Amy Ross because she's who this is to. And I just maybe like, not this one. Can we find another? And then I just hit post, and now it notifies Amy that I don't like this graphic. Can we please find something else? And I actually do like this one, so I'm not going to leave her that message right there. Okay, so I know that seems like a lot to digest on Dropbox, but it really is a great tool if you can figure out how to collaborate with your team on it. And I think you will really enjoy the functionality of Dropbox and the freedom that it gives you. Okay, hang tight because we're moving on to the next one. Okay, this last tip, there's actually two, Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups. I'm going to kind of bunch them both together for a reason. Okay, so I keep everything in little pockets on my iPhone. So you can see my one that says social. It has my social platforms in there, right? Okay. Okay. What you're not seeing is my personal Facebook app, okay? And I'll tell you why. I, just like so many of you, get sucked into the abyss of Facebook, okay? And so I buried it. Oh, there it is. I buried it way back here. I'm not even tempted. I hardly play with anything off of my front page. Seriously, most of the stuff I don't play with. So I buried it way back here so that I won't even come out here and play on Facebook. I won't get sucked in, okay? But I have to work in Facebook, okay? So there lies my problems, except for if we come into here, I use my Pages app to run all of the pages that we run. This is just a little bonus tip for y'all, okay? This is for all of the pages that we run, okay? I don't need to be in my personal profile to do that. I have my Trello board here, my LinkedIn here, okay, and I could get just as trapped as everybody else in all of these, except for I know where I need to work. I need to work in my Pages app. I need to be in LinkedIn occasionally, but mostly the place I need to be if I am networking with people is I need to be in either this one or this one. Now this one's LinkedIn and this one is Facebook groups. And so if I need to pop into some of the groups that I participate with, whether it's 90-Day Year, Social Media Masterminds, Blabaholics for people who like Blab, The Front Row, B-School, any of those that I need to pop into, then I can from here, and I can come in and I can interact with them from here and not get caught up in, like I said before, the cat videos or the recipes or whatever it is, the nonsense to me that just goes on all the time. And you just sit there for an hour and you've scrolled through looking for something to consume, I guess, is the only reason that we do it. I don't know why. So anyway, so this tool right here, it will save me so much time because I can pop in, check my notifications if I have communication with somebody, and then pop back out, okay? So that one is the Facebook groups. And the same thing goes right here for the LinkedIn groups. All of the groups that I'm a part of are all right here, okay? Social media, news and tech, marketing 2.1, the missing link, which is a great one on LinkedIn. That's one of my favorite groups to be a part of right there. Because I serve the automotive industry, this is a great one for me to be in. And so I can pop in here and see what's going on within these groups, which are the things that I need to do to move my business forward. I don't need to scroll through LinkedIn and everybody's anniversary and everybody's day, day that they got a new promotion or they got a new job, or I just don't need that. Like if you guys are like I am, you don't have time for that. And I don't either. And so I limit myself to this. Now there may be times whenever I just feel like consuming nothing. I don't know when that is, because if I'm doing that, I'm listening to a podcast or I'm reading a book. But if I do, then I will go out and I will get on those. But to discipline myself on a daily basis, these are my apps, okay? So Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, and I don't know if you guys use this one, but this is a great one right here, lynda.com. If you need to learn anything, holy cow, this is such a great tool. So you're not like, because I'll tell you, you'll get sucked into Google and you'll get sucked into YouTube also. So for Lynda, let me log in here real quick. Let's see. I usually stay logged in, which is kind of unusual, but yes, by all means, open in Lynda. So anything that you could want to learn, like I think I've watched some advertising on Twitter. These are the things that I've watched before, but you can search for anything. I mean, if you want to learn how to set up, something even simple. So there you go. These are all video tutorials to teach you anything you want. And I don't know what college or university that you can sign up for $29 a month to learn anything that you could possibly need to know within the online world. Lynda.com, Lynda. Okay, so that was a bonus tip for y'all right there. Lynda. Okay, so we have covered quite a bit. Is your brain exploding yet? Oh my gosh, I know it probably is, and I apologize. But digest it as you can. Like watch this, and then come back to it. Okay? Watch the next piece and come back to it. Digest it as you can. Or you're like, oh, I know all about Trello and I know all about Dropbox. I want to know about WordSwag. Then consume what you need and leave the rest behind. Okay, I think we are good to go, guys. Holler at me on Facebook, holler at me on Twitter, holler at me on Snapchat. We're even out there on Snapchat. If you need anything, email me, robin@socialclimberpro.com, or hit up our website, socialclimberpro.com. Bye. Okay, so what did you think? Was there anything that you learned that maybe you could go out and start using tomorrow? Was there some tips or tricks that maybe you could implement immediately and it would make you more productive? Did you learn how to stay out of the big vacuum of Facebook and how to not get stuck in LinkedIn for hours trying to figure out what you should do there? Okay, so I feel your pain, and that's why we did this. So hopefully this will help you just a little bit and make your day more productive. And if you need any more tips or tricks or whatever, either head over to Facebook to our page, Social Climber Pro, or you can find us on Twitter, you can find us on LinkedIn, we're on all the social channels, you can even follow us on Snapchat. All right, so that's it for today. Thanks, and go be productive. Thanks, guys.